Hello, God bless you. Thank you for watching. The date is 29 April 2014, and it's been put on my heart to share my testimony. I don't know where to begin or how to begin, but I'm gonna do my best to try to record this and tell people my story, and I hope it inspires somebody or helps somebody. Um, First off, I grew up in a Christian home. I had strict parents. I had my parents took me to church every Sunday. It was like that for a very long time. I rebelled against both my parents and God. I didn't want anyone telling me what to do. I'm looking back on my life and what the Lord has done in my life. I see that Satan got a hold of me when I was very young, and really clouded my mind and my judgment when I was very young. It made me very hateful when I was young. Um, I don't know why. I don't know if he singled me out or exactly why it happened, but I was definitely targeted. My sister grew up through school, did very well, um, did was a great student, went on to college, did great things. Actually was in a published magazine for her finances and just different things. I, on the other hand, was a poor student, socially and awkward, um, and I didn't really know my place, what I was going to do. Well, anyway, at 14, I did get saved. I did believe in Jesus Christ, in the Father, um, but essentially, I got saved for the wrong reasons. I got saved because I wanted my mom off my back. I was 14 years old. My mother came upstairs, and like some Christians, maybe even you, I said the prayer and thought I was good, and I went on with life. I forgot about exactly what I just said, and went on to do my own things. I joined the military. Um, Shortly after that, the military did teach me discipline. It did teach me a lot of things that I needed in my life, um, but it didn't give me God. The military, I ended up becoming, um, I guess, well liked. I partied a lot. I did a lot of things that I didn't get to do when I was younger. I drank. I even did drugs. Um, I was lucky enough not to get caught. But uh, it was almost like Satan turned things around for me. Like, hey, this side of life isn't so bad. Well, anyway, so I didn't need God. I was well liked. I was in shape. I was doing great things on my own. I still didn't need the Lord. Anyway, I get out of the military, and I go into this. Uh, I'll speak in broad terms here. I go into security contracting, and I did very well. Made good money. Enjoyed the people I worked with, and my journey actually began shortly after becoming a security contractor. Um, I was at breakfast one morning, and we were talking about um, gun control. And you can imagine the company I serve with are, alpha male type people, and Republicans. Even though I know both parties are corrupt, um, I was sitting there. And we were talking about gun control. Sandy Hook. This was in November 2012, I believe. Sandy Hook had happened recently, and there was talk of gun control and this and that, and I was just thinking, God, where's this world going? This is just, what is going on with this America? What is going on with this world? And one of the friends that was sitting there, he said, well, you need to go look at FEMA death camps. And I actually laughed out loud. I was like, oh, you're stupid. You're a conspiracy theorist. There's no such thing as FEMA death camps. Um, and he just said, you need to go look. Well, I ended up going to look. I went back to my room, and I was like, well, let's just see what this says. And looked up FEMA death camps. Well, the first thing that popped up on the news feed was Army Ranger discusses FEMA death camps and guarding guillotines. So I thought that was interesting. I clicked on it. I was a former Army Ranger myself, and I wanted to see what this guy had to say. Essentially, you probably could find the video if you Googled for it now, but he had talked about guarding guillotines, him and his squad of 7 guys, and they were told that they were for, in the event military tribunals were to ever come to America, and that it was a top secret thing that he had to guard. And I remember thinking, I actually had almost a vision at that point. I was 12 years old, back at our church in small town Iowa, and I had gone to this movie my mom wanted me to go to about the tribulation. And we went to this movie, and I'll never forget, I didn't watch the whole movie probably. I was probably running around, but I remember at the very end, it had these Christians, and one was a lady, and she was walking with her son holding his hand, and he had a balloon in his hand. And I remember this like it was yesterday. And they were singing, "They'll know we are Christians by our love." And they were walking towards a guillotine. And that's kind of where the movie ended. And so I started putting things together in my mind. And what comes to my mind is the story of Jonah. And if you look at Jonah, it talks about how he cried out of the belly by reason of his affliction. He knew he was wrong, and he cried out to the Lord. That's exactly what happened to me. I knew I was wrong and how I was living my life, and I cried out to God. And I asked him, I was like, "Is this true? Will you answer me, please? What is going on with our country? Are these guillotines for real? Are these camps for real?" And as quickly as it left my mouth, left my mind, and he answered me. And what he said to me was, "Son, you haven't walked in righteousness. If you walk with me in righteousness, I will show you many wonderful things." So let's pause right there. Righteousness, what was I doing wrong? And I thought, I know exactly what I'm doing wrong. And if you want to know what I was doing, look at Matthew 5:27, and you'll know exactly what I was doing. So I prayed for help. Because I didn't want Satan to have a hold of me anymore. I knew everything that I've grown up at that point to be true. And I couldn't believe what was happening in front of me. How the wool had been pulled over my eyes not to see it. From that moment on, began a walk I'll never forget, that I wouldn't trade anything in the world for. I began to pray and read my Bible. And as I began to walk in righteousness, the Lord spoke with me and guided me and directed me. I'm going to go ahead and close there for now and continue with the part 2 with some of the amazing things that he's done for me. God bless. Thank you.